Once again, it's on.
Yeah, yeah.
You're live.
All right, here we go.
Live.
Bill, go ahead and kick it off. Bill, I'm gonna let
What's
you
up?
get
What's up? What's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome to another Locker Room Chronicles, where the brothers get to chop it up and approach this relationship thing from a man's point of view. We're letting all the ladies there on YouTube peek behind the scenes, let them know what some of the brothers think sometimes, how we chop it up, what we talk about, how we view things. This is from our viewpoint. We're gonna keep it real. We're changing the format back up a little bit, back to the way it started. So we're gonna get loose up in here and get real and talk about identifying our teammate. How do we identify somebody that we want to be our teammate?
Ride or die. Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, we always want to ride or die and everything. But how do you, Eugene? How do you, Antoine? How do you, Mike, Cecil, and Kamal? How do you figure out that this woman right here is the one I can identify as my go-to player on the team? This is gonna be, my Scottie Pippen to my Michael Jordan in this game.
Bitch hitting threes. But here we go.
Go ahead, Eugene. You wanna kick off on identifying question on how we can identify our teammates?
Almost definitely. Listen, what's up, fellas? What's up? Listen, I'm feeling some type of way tonight because I really want to know a real simple question. Fellas, we've been talking for we're talking since May, summertime, into the fall. But real talk, fellas, we own this show. We chop it up about different issues. But the real question right now is, brothers, are you really ready to get in this game? Are you really ready to play this game? And if so, what are you looking for in your teammate? Like real talk. Like we gonna talk like grown ass men tonight. What are you looking for in that special teammate? And I mean, whatever it is, like be specific. Like don't play with it. If she got to be certain height, a certain width, be respectful though. Keep it respectful, fellas. We don't want to offend anybody. But understand this: your choice is your choice. Just like I just want to bring something up. I want to encourage my boy Twan again from last week. The last show we did, Twan was concerned about his height. But I told Twan, man, God bless you. Be happy where you are. And the woman for you, his teammate, that likes him, that cares for him, and wants to be with him, is definitely gonna pick him. So whoever want to join in, I really know. I want to welcome my little brother Kamal back. I've been missing him. I've been praying for him. He's back in that building. The old faithfuls are always here. Mike, Cecil was cracking. So we got some others that'll be back. But fellas, let's really chop it up tonight about what it is we identify, how we identify our teammates. Like what is it that we really want? So because I'm sure these ladies want to know. We've been on this show for 5-6 months, and I've had a couple of people ask me why am I single, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the, I guess that question leads to why am I single and what is it that I'm looking for? So anybody want to jump in? I really want to hear what y'all got to say, fellas. What it is? What's your tell me about your teammate. Whoever want to go first, go right here. See, we're not doing this tonight.
Hey, I'm ready, King.
So,
go ahead, Cecil. Let's go. Kick it off, baby.
All right, so since we're using the analogy of teammate, and I'm gonna put it right out there. What are you playing? What sport you playing? What do you need? Like your teammate is determined by what your needs are. So if I have a basketball team and I know I can shoot, I'm Steph Curry on that thing, then I don't need another shooting guard. I need a rebounder. I need a center, a power forward. I need somebody under the rim that can get it if, God forbid, I miss. Mm-hmm. So I need somebody. My teammate is going to compliment me. I'm dropping threes from all over the place. Who's going to rebound that thing? Who's going to grab that thing and give it back to me so I can go to the other court and drop one? So I think, brothers, the first thing you need to look at in a teammate, identify yourself. What do you do good? What are you good at?
What's your purpose?
And then look at what you need. Bingo. What's your purpose? Where you going in life? If you know where you're going in life and what you want to do, How is that woman supposed to compliment you? How is she supposed to help you? How is she supposed to do the things that you can't do or enhance what you can do? You know, a lot of people talk about the man's the head, but the woman's the neck that turns the head. The woman allows you to see things that you can't see. Every woman that's ever been a blessing in my life has been able to show me stuff that I might not have been able to see. I'll admit, I got tunnel vision. I'm ready to go. I'm trying to get to the end. I want somebody to show me, well, hold on, baby, there's a better way to do this. Let's work smarter, not harder. I got more, but I'm gonna stop there.
No,
All right.
okay.
Welcome back, Mal. Mal, you giving me energy, baby.
Yeah, baby.
I get that West Coast.
I mean,
Come on, Antoine.
It's gardening right now.
Antoine, what's up? What you got to say?
I guess a teammate is someone or group of people that compliments you. It's a teammate, like I said, it's a teammate is someone we know that's someone that's going. Like I say, since we're talking about basketball, we got the teammates that would take the charge, that would do the defensive play, that would do the little things that's not on the scorebox. So, and I guess when it comes to, let's say, something like our queen or having a teammate, a queen as our teammate, it had to be someone, for me personally, it had to be someone that's going to do the little things like Brother Cecil said that you can't see. That's not going to be on the press box. That's not going to be on Sports Center. They're going to do that one little thing that no one noticed, but will win the game. But it'll be that one little small thing that win the game, that little small rebound, something that we know that will make us better. And the key word is us. That will make us better. So one thing that will make me better and make her better. And we just, like I said, compliment to win that game, or if we're going to play it as if it's a game.
Good. Yeah.
Man,
Good.
yeah. So can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir,
Yeah.
bro. Come through,
All right.
bro.
Yeah. So let me jump in on this one because I think this kind of ties into the group chat that we had last night, right? So there's a couple of things I think that are important to me, and I think I mentioned this yesterday. During our show. Like I think for me, it's paramount to understand my situation. In that I'm a single father. Got a daughter. Can you fit into that? Can you pass that gate? With my daughter, and kind of understand like this is a unique situation, right? And then I think furthermore, I'll give an example. So I was dating this young lady last year, and like one of the I don't want to say it's the sexiest, I think, but one of the more attractive things that a woman has said to me in a long time, right, was, wow, I wish I was there to help you. I know that you need help, right? And by help, that was like, I kind of run my own show, run my own castle, right? But yeah, it would be nice to have somebody to, cook and cook well, or clean up. I mean, I'm not saying I'm looking for a maid or anything like that, but in my eyes, I think the teammate that I would look for now, as opposed to when I was in my 20s, is, can you come in, assess my situation and, really understand like where you can help out and vice versa, right? It's not a one-way thing, and I definitely don't want to make it into I definitely don't want to go into the rabbit hole of like, gender roles and like all this stuff or whatever. But I think for me, what's most important to me now is, and it kind of goes back to what Lyndon was saying like a while ago. What kind of value do you bring to me, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean like, financially, what are you bringing to the table? Like, what's your profession? Like, anything like that. I think my needs are completely different now than they were in my 20s. So it's more of, Like, what value do you bring to me to keep my peace? And I think, we had a discussion before we all went live, and I think you guys can understand like where I'm coming from with that, right?
Mhm.
You know, how do you help keep my peace? How do you help, uh, run a healthy and loving household? And that's what I'm looking for. You know, I think that would be like the ultimate kind of team player for me.
Okay. All right. Mike, Mike,
Sir.
we know you like the light skinnedness.
let me set the record straight. You know, I said that they are my kryptonite. I love all women,
Gotcha.
regardless of the complexion. So let the record show, Your Honor,
Uh-oh.
that I love all complexion of women. Now,
Okay.
Now the question is, what do I look for in a potential mate, or how do I
Mhm.
find her?
How do you identify her? Like,
How do I
like when you're
identify?
drafting, right? When teams are
Mhm.
drafted, are in the draft, right? They have their needs, right? They have what positions they need to fill, what positions they kind of fat at, and where they can put some people on waivers or free agents or whatever and get some money off of them in order to go after that higher draft pick, whatever. So how do you evaluate that person that you're looking to draft as your teammate that's going to bring you a championship?
Well, I'm gonna put it plain and simple. Uh, every night when I get down on my knees and I'm saying my prayers, one of my main focus is God make me a better man. So when you do present her to me, or when I find her, you know, I won't mess it up because
Mm.
you know me. You know my mouth, you know my attitude, you know my stubbornness. Help me to help her to fit in like a puzzle piece. Now, one way that I'll really be able to identify her is, does she pray for me?
That's good,
Does
man.
she,
Mm.
Lisa, mute your phone.
does she have faith in me to be the man that will guide the relationship in the direction that is to go? You know, being a man of God, I want what's best for me and my family. And as long as you're walking alongside with me and not behind me, then we'll always be able to uh, move forward together. Now, as long as I'm praying, she's praying, it'll be revealed in time that, okay, this is my equal. She fits right in, and I wouldn't hesitate, to take it further.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Gary, the topic matter is how do we identify our teammates? I think you heard me go through the little explanation, like how do you pick your draft pick? What do you have to establish in your life or realize in your life, evaluate in your life, your team, and say, look, I need some help here. I'm a good point guard, but I ain't a good shooter. So I need a shooter on my team. How do you look for your shooter, Gary? You're muted right now. Go ahead, turn your mic on.
First of all, my general manager days, I'd have been fired because I had 2 draft busts. So I think part of it is, first thing is, you must know yourself. You must know what your needs are. You got to know what your physical needs are, your mental needs are, your spiritual needs, and your emotional needs. That's self-awareness is essential, because once you have that self-awareness, you can then go and interact with people to see if those items that I just mentioned, the physical, the spiritual, the mental, the emotional, that they all line up.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be patient, because, you're going to look through, they have a draft, 32 teams, they get 7 rounds in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody doesn't hit. And you're looking for the Hall of Famer. Okay. So once you have that self-awareness, you then go and you look based on that, how you match up with that person. Invariably, you have to expect a success rate of maybe 10% are worthy of doing a contract offer with.
Okay.
So that
How
means
do you come to that? It seems like you've done some wisdom thinking and self-reflecting to come up with that, that ratio or whatever. So how do you come to that?
Well, basically, look, let's say over the course of a year, I get contact information from 10 women. 5 of them, we won't even get to the date process for whatever reason.
Okay.
We're going to date 5. 3 of them won't be a second date.
Okay.
So now you got 2 that are going to at least get past the second date. How many of them even get to 6 months is another story. If you're lucky, it's at least 1.
Okay.
So it's self-awareness, patience, discernment, and time.
Okay. All right. Who hasn't gone yet? Kamal, you want to go any further? And I know that you said something about have to be able to number one, get along and understand that you have a daughter and all. You want somebody to be your peace. What do you? This is the nuts, the bolts I'm trying to get to. What is it that, like, when you go out on a date for the first time or something, or somebody that you may be interested in, you may be interested in, and they interested in you? What is it that says, all right, that might be a prospect? And then what do you do to check to see if that prospect is real or not, worthy to be on your depth chart?
Yeah, they got a whole bunch of websites out there to do background checks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, my little bro is bugging. Here we go.
Man, I mean, yeah, they got a bunch of websites. You go out there and do background checks.
They don't do emotional background checks, though.
Hey, but I know if they got a record, you know what I'm saying? Shit. But nah, seriously. But honestly, I'll be real. Because women do this too. I'm not gonna lie. I will do some investigating. I'll do my own reconnaissance, my own due diligence. I'll go on your LinkedIn. I'll go on your Facebook, your Instagram, whatever. to see kind of like what you're putting out there. You know what I mean? And I'm not ashamed to say that. You know what I mean? So if you're putting something out there that I don't really vibe with, you know, in terms of how you brand yourself, then that's going to make me maybe have second thoughts of how you presented yourself to me on the date, right? So that's one thing. I think in terms of, yeah, wow. Bill, that's a good question.
Think about it, Eugene. I want to hear your point of view. Think about it for a second, because I know you're on something.
You trying to be nice. Don't be Kamal. Be Kamal. Don't do that, bro. You've been gone for too long.
Well, it's not that I'm trying to be nice. It's I'm just trying to
walk lightly.
Yeah. I'm not really. It's not that I'm trying to be nice. It's just that I think a lot of times, I think as you get older, right, there's certain shit that you're just not going to be impressed with, right? And so you can, I think, assess from what you pick up, again, from experience, what you pick up during that first or second date, or the couple of times that you guys talk, right? How that woman carries herself, what does she have to talk about? Can she be empathetic with some of the things that I've got going on? Is she forthcoming with her own baggage? Is she forthcoming with her own faults? Right? And
that's hard right there, man. That's a hard hurdle to jump over right there. That's the tall hurdle at the end that trips you up.
Right, exactly. Like, are you, do you know yourself well enough as a person to understand like what your faults are, right? And I think, just from those things, again, they don't have to be pointed questions, but, we're all grown men. We've got enough experience with women up to this point to kind of know, right? Like, you're not going to be impressed with the tight dress and the curves and the pretty hair and the pretty smile. I mean, that'll draw you in, you know what I mean? But like, what else are you going to offer? Like, what is your, like, are you emotionally intelligent enough to understand what your shortcomings are, right? And can we have the kind of dialogue around that to where you could be real with me and I could be real with you, right? So I mean, it's simple, but again, it's not that simple. But I think with experience, there's just things that you pick up, right? Right. And then once you pick that up, you go onto what's the name of that website where you can get people's social security numbers and
the dark web.
The dark web. That's right. You hit up the dark web. You hit up your dark web plug. You know what I'm saying? And get that background check going. No.
I feel you.
Let me shut up because I don't want nobody thinking I'm a stalker.
What up, man?
Hey, that's due diligence, man. I mean, women have to protect themselves, and nowadays men have to protect themselves in much the same way.
Right.
We got women out there with game that will talk you out your house and home and your fame and fortune over having a fat ass. That you done spent up all your money on, on the Turn Up channel or Only Page or something like that, the Only Fans or something,
I mean,
but anyway, there's some people out there that you got to check out, and you can't trust the big button to smile. That's what BBD said.
Yeah.
The poison. Yeah, roger that.
True.
So, Eugene, what about yourself, bro?
Hey, man.
Listen,
Kamal said something that was very key. What I liked at 20, I didn't like at 30. What I liked at 30, I didn't like at 40. And now that I am 52 years old, man, my mindset has changed dramatically. When we were in college, man, and she was cute, was thick, we was trying to get put on, and our thought process was different. But as we get older, fellas, and as we get mature, we're all educated with careers now. you really have to look at a few things, like what's important to you. I say it all the time, man. You guys, you have your negotiables, you have your non-negotiables. And a lot of people out here compromising their non-negotiables and they're hurting themselves. One thing I've learned over the last year, and I learned this through therapy and through trial and error, is that I've learned to recognize red flags. Not only red flags, I've learned to recognize yellow flags that will eventually turn red. And sometimes, fellas, if we keep it 100 with each other, we kind of let them yellow flags go. And we know in football, yellow flag is a foul. It's a penalty.
Right.
It's something wrong.
Right.
So at this point in my life, what I look for in a young lady is a young lady, first and foremost, who is self-aware of herself. I believe Kamal said it is also as that, and then she's able to identify her baggage and she's willing to share her baggage. But on the flip side of that, the same grace and mercy that she wants when she shares her baggage, I think she needs to have that same grace and mercy for me when I begin to share mine. Kamal said something very powerful about 8 shows ago. Ladies, hear me and hear me well. We as men, we want a woman that we could be butt naked emotionally with, butt naked spiritually with, butt naked psychologically with. But here's the problem. Y'all, and when I say y'all, I don't mean to generalize the statement, but sometimes what we say turns around and gets weaponized against us. So it's very hard for us to really be transparent. So that's one thing, that's a non-negotiable for me. I want to, if I can't be transparent with you, if I can't give you Eugene in the raw, and I'm not talking about sexually, I'm just talking about if I can't give you me and you can't understand who I am and be able to empathize and be able to pick up my mode or my mood and see where I'm at, that's a problem because I'm gonna do the same thing for you. I'm definitely gonna do the same thing. I'm definitely gonna pick up your vibe, like, how's your day? Like, I remember the lady said a while back, quit texting me talking about how's my day, I have a good day. Well, a real man, if he texts you and asks you to have a good day, he's basically trying to see where your head is at. How's your day going? And that's the same thing with me. I want a woman that's going to check on me periodically during the day, saying, hey, how's your day going? How's your shift going? How did your day go today? Things of that sort. Somebody that's empathetic and sympathetic about what you're going through, as well as I give her the same thing. She also needs to line up with my purpose. And when I say purpose, I think Cecil addressed it, that same thing as saying what sport you're playing. Like if I'm playing basketball and you on a baseball page, we're not gonna line up because you're not gonna understand anything I'm talking about. So she's definitely got to be on my same page. I put a post out, I believe it might have been yesterday, or day before yesterday. I put a post on the page and I said, ladies, sex will get them in, but it ain't gonna keep them. I'm the type of person, you can be fine as hell, but if I'm not getting a mental stimulation from you, or you can't carry on a basic conversation with me, and we can't talk about some real life issues, or just be able to have a conversation where we kick, like they say, the woolly bubbles back and forth, then that's a problem. Communication is a must. We must be able to communicate. I always tell you all the time that I've had a relationship where I've had that hard conversation. I'm talking about the conversation was so hard. I'm sitting there nervous the whole time, but I was man enough to listen to the conversation. And I didn't listen to respond, but I listened to interpret. And then once I interpreted what the problem was, then I said, well, let's implement something to change that. So I want somebody that I can communicate with, be it good, bad, or indifferent, but it doesn't change the way we feel about each other. If you get into a conversation with your lady and it causes her not to like you, then something is wrong. Now, there's going to be situations where she's going to be mad at you. But when you get to that stage where you really love somebody, if it gets to the point where the conversation is causing a problem in the love area, that's a problem. That means there's a miscommunication somewhere. And then, of course, you want her to there's got to be a chemistry there. There's got to be a connection there. There's got to be something that's there without you even saying it. Like, have you ever met a lady, as soon as she opened her mouth, she might have said one thing and you've been like, wow, like I've never heard that before. Perfect example. I use this example. Fellas, how many times have you ever heard a woman say she's proud of you, and you knew she meant it?
You talking about other than your mama?
Wow, no, I'm not talking about.
I'm just clarifying.
That's why I don't do that. Come on, we're not doing that tonight.
No, just making sure. Just making sure. Just clarifying.
Because your mama ain't your team player. We ain't talking about that.
I know that. I was just clarifying. Just making sure to clarify.
Like Oedipus complex, maybe.
How many times have you heard a woman tell you she's proud of you? Somebody that was a potential mate, or somebody that you were dating, or somebody you was in a relationship with, and you knew she meant it. That's
Maybe
it.
not so much. Maybe not so much
See,
saying
that's
that
Once
she.
or
that's
twice.
hey,
Once or twice. Once or twice.
go ahead, come out. What you about
Plenty
to
of
say?
time.
I was gonna say maybe not so much saying that she's proud of you, but maybe speaking proudly of you. You know.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I think like
That sounds much better.
yeah that, and I don't think that's like out of the ordinary, right? I think like especially
Yeah,
like in the beginning of stages, right? If you guys are into each other, she's gonna brag about you, say all these good things about you. So I don't think that's really out of the ordinary. But what do you mean by being proud?
That's what I said. I mean, like really make. See, here's one thing about a man, and that actually kind of I don't want to open that door, but that kind of ties into love language, words of affirmation. Like that's some men, especially if that's your love language. That's an amazing thing for you to have somebody that really supports you and have your back. Go ahead, Jerry. You ain't gotta raise your hand, bro. Just unmute first.
Yep.
Unmute your mic, Gary.
No, I was going to follow up on what you were saying. You asked a very simple, direct question.
Yeah.
How many times, or when was the last time a woman said to you that was a romantic interest, potential romantic interest, or mate, said to you they were proud of you?
And nobody said nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a very specific question. And I have a feeling, Gene, you asked it that way for a reason.
Of course I did. You know how I operate. I always operate because that's
That was a good
important.
question. That was good.
Fellas, listen, how many fellas, be honest, how many fellas can honestly say if you had that teammate that told you how proud they were of you, it would actually make you elevate your game?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of
yes,
course.
All the time.
It's
It'll make-
more incentive.
Like
Yeah.
women don't. I need women to hear me, and I'm gonna say this. And I know y'all. I'm sure the YouTube is probably gonna blow up when I'm about to say, but I got to keep it 100 because this is what y'all asked for.
Uh-oh.
Y'all have no idea of the power that you possess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, some of them.
There is a way that you can, and I'm not talking about power for evil. I'm talking about that's not.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We
Powerful
know what
good.
y'all.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Positivity. Mm-hmm.
The positive role of a woman in a man's life is so strong. It is so strong. Like a man y'all don't even know how you could change the path of a man. You don't know how you could change the choices a man makes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I said this.
Agree. Amen.
All of us that have been through situations and we've gotten hurt and we've gone. Some of us gone through therapy. Some of us just went on and tried to heal ourselves. You can go so far in your process, but then I say this and I mean it. I mean this when I say it.
One thing would bring it on.
There's always going to be that one woman that come in your life, whether she be a helpmate, best friend, whatever her role is in your life, and she could say something that will be somewhat of a conduit that'll make you go, wait, hold up. It'll make you think, and it'll push you in a launching position. But on the same token, a lot of times that power is used for evil, and it's used in a way where we end up feeling deficient, feeling like we're not man enough, we're not enough. Twan, I hate to do this to you, but Twan really was on my spirit when he talked about how he shot his shot, he kind of got shot down. That's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Like this brother was like, look, I'm feeling you. And then whatever she said to him kind of took some oomph out of him. But imagine if she'd have been like, you know what, Twan, I'm proud of you. I'm proud to, I'm having a really good time. And I like you. I like where your head is at. I like what you're playing. Like, what is your plan? Like, you're trying to get your master's degree. You want to get your doctor. Like, she's really supportive. And I need them to understand that that's the kind of thing that we need. We need that power. Yes, we as men, we can do it on our own, but it's so much, and I'm not going to go here, but I have to go here for 30 seconds. There's a purpose for y'all. We serve a purpose as a unit. I won't go biblical, but I go Hancock. Who saw the movie Hancock? Okay. In the movie Hancock, there were two angels, male and female. They were strong. As they got closer to each other, they got stronger, but they got weak at the same time because they kind of canceled each other out.
I'm sorry.
But they needed each other. They needed to function. He found out his identity within her. Now watch the woman go, identity. He don't know who he is. This is what I'm saying. We as men know where we're going and we know what we're trying to do, but there's a certain part of us that needs that woman to activate the king in us. We're all kings, but it's nothing like that certain woman who has the key to you that can flip that switch in you and activate the king in you. And that's one of the things that I like. A woman that can activate the king in me, a woman that is self-aware, a woman that is going to encourage me, a woman that is going to connect with my purpose, and a woman that I have a chemistry and connection with. Go ahead, Gary.
I think what you're saying is the woman that inspires, and the woman who can speak to a man's spirit. That's the woman you're looking for.
Yeah.
And if you're with a woman for a period of time and she never speaks to your spirit. Now, Gene, you got a question in the chat.
Yeah, I'll tell him that. Go ahead. Present it. The chat said, do men judge themselves with the same yardsticks as they judge their prospective women?
Of course.
Each man has to answer that individually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who want to go first?
Yeah. Go ahead, Antoine.
I'll go first. I'm a person that's naturally hard on myself. And no, not for no negative reasons. I'm hard on myself because if I'm not hard on myself, I'm not going to push myself. I say I'm one of those that was never the best, but what people always saw in me was that I was the one, like I said again, I'm a music teacher. So in college, I was the one that was always in the practice room. I was the one that was there till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning practicing, doing my homework, doing everything that I needed to do because I knew I wasn't the best. But at some point, you're gonna see me beat your ass. So I'm someone that pushes. I'm someone that puts my head down and push. And I'm so when it comes to who I'm looking for, I need someone with that same mentality. I'm gonna work hard. I'm someone that's gonna work my ass off. I just need someone that will push me, and I need someone that has the same wavelength. Like I said, I'm not looking for the best person. I'm not looking for someone that's perfect. I'm just looking for someone that's going to push. That's going to know it's like, look, I may not be at the best at this thing, but you know what? We're going to do everything that we can to make sure that we are the best. And once we get there, we're going to show that how good we are. I'm a workhorse, and I just need someone that's a workhorse with me.
Right.
Cecil.
The question is, do you measure yourself the same way?
Yes, I do.
Call my name.
Okay.
So somebody else answer that question. I want to hear your answers.
And that's like a large part of the reason why I'm single now, because I had to pull myself. After I think like a couple of serious and semi-serious relationships, I had to really kind of step back and do an assessment of, okay, like, are you really ready for what you're looking for? Right. And I had to be honest with myself, and I wasn't, am I getting better? I think I'm preparing myself, and, I think eventually I'll get there. But yeah, I mean, I really had to do an assessment of myself and be like, yeah, to attract and to get this teammate that I'm looking for, I don't think I'm there yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm there yet. So, and Cecil, you like these analogies, the sports analogies, right? My 40 time ain't what I need it to be. So, you know what I'm saying? If I'm trying to burn some DBs or, hit that hole a little quicker, my 40 time ain't what it need to be. So, I definitely, think that, And that's kind of like what I was saying about earlier in the conversation when I mentioned that I'm hoping that this teammate or whatever, or I think like what initially makes a light bulb go off if I'm on a date with a woman if she can be forthcoming about like her faults, because I know I am, right? And I think sometimes lately it's been to a fault, but hey, you have to be self-aware. And I expect the same kind of self-awareness that I have for myself out of, my potential mate. Because like Antoine said, I'm hard on myself, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm hard on myself. Shit, I'll go into like a depression if I, put on like an additional 15 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not where I want to be. Or it's just a lot of things, man. So to answer the question point blank, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't expect anything from somebody that I don't expect or can't provide for myself.
Cool.
It's like a general consensus that we're all pretty hard on ourselves. I know I am. I always say even as a child, my dad used to tell me all the time, like, boy, you too hard on yourself. Like, yes, of course, my father, I'm from the old school. I got my ass whooped. I was disciplined. But sometimes my father would be like, I ain't got to do it to him. He gonna do it to himself. Because one thing I was blessed to be raised by my mother and father, and I had the type of father. If I had to give him an analogy, I would say he was like James on Good Time. And the last thing I want to do, now real talk. The last thing I want to do is disappoint my father. So I was that's something that's been on me. I'm my own worst critic. In the past, now watch this, fellas. In the past, I've got it my own way. I've sabotaged some situations. But I've learned to give myself some grace. I've learned to give myself some room to grow. So yes, ladies, we do. Some of us do measure. That's an individual. That's not a general question for all men, but I would say each man can answer that. And I believe the consensus on here is that yes, we're hard. We don't need. And look who just came in the building.
Right.
Look who just came in the building. My boy. Look who just came in the building. What's cracking? Lyndon in the building. That's what I'm talking about. My other bro is in the building. Here we go.
Sorry, brothers. Work.
No, we got you.
We got you.
We came here. I'm gonna give you a quick synopsis. We talking about identifying a teammate, what you see in a woman. And one of the questions that was asked from the ladies was, do men measure themselves by the same yardstick as we measure them? And so far, the general consensus is that all the men on here are very hard on themselves. Like we beat ourselves up. Like we really, we question ourselves. When relationships end, I don't know about y'all, fella, but when relationship ends, I think men take it harder because we question ourselves, like, what could I have done different? A real man, what could I have done different? Like, what did I do wrong? Where did I go wrong here?
Yeah, I ask that to myself all the time.
Yeah. Gary, you had your hand up. I want to hear what you have to say real quick.
I'm going to deviate because, first of all, the way I read this, when you use judge in a biblical sense, it means to condemn. So I'm going to say no, because I don't judge at all.
Right.
My thing is I see people as or potentials as compatible or not compatible. I'm no better. I'm no worse than anybody else. So all this is about matching qualities. And if we don't match well enough, we're not compatible. It doesn't mean she's a bad person. It doesn't mean that I was a bad person. It just means romance is not in the cards for us.
Yeah.
So that's the way I look at it. I don't judge anybody, but if I'm dealing with you and it turns out that there are things that I don't think I can navigate through, and I sit down and I talk to you about it, and after talking to you, it becomes clear that I can't, that's it. It doesn't make either person bad. It just means that we're not cut out. And that's okay.
True.
Hey, Gary, let me ask you a question.
You look like you on the edge, brother.
Go ahead, Gene.
Okay, Bill, you know what I'm going to do, right? Watch this. So, Gary, say the last statement you just said again. I want to say something real quick about the if we compatible, we are. If we're not, we're not. That's what you said, right?
We're not, and it's okay.
So here's my question, and this goes on both sides of the gender role.
Mhm.
If there's no connection, why do people get upset? Woo.
Wait. Because first of all,
I'm gonna say
there
it
is a
again.
connection.
No.
There is a connection.
Okay, no. If you're not compatible, there's no connection.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, but see,
I'm not. Hold on, Gary. Listen to me. I'm
Okay.
not talking. I want you to hear what I'm saying. Listen to me.
okay.
If there's no connection and you're not compatible, why do people get upset when there's no compatibility? I'm not asking you the question. Listen to what I'm saying.
No. I understand exactly what you're saying. I have an answer, but I'm gonna lay back.
So, no,
Let's-
real talk.
Your opinion on that.
If you try to talk to a lady and there's no connection there, do you get angry? Do you get upset? How do you handle that? If
The
you're looking
most
for,
that's gonna happen.
if you're looking for a team player and she's like, I ain't feeling your team, how do you handle that?
The most I'm ever going to feel now is disappointment, because it may be somebody I was really attracted to, but it's disappointment. But that doesn't mean that's not anything on me, and it really isn't even anything on her. It just means that it's not for us. So it's time to move on.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Michael, you haven't said anything in brother.
I was just getting ready to.
Come on, bro. We waiting on you. What are you doing?
Oh man, he froze, I think.
He sure did, because I didn't see nothing move. So Lyndon, Lyndon is the field is the field, you know. Yeah, our coach, you know. This is the, you know. this is
Like I'm being put on the spot.
So the thing I love about him, man, like when he came on the show, man, he was in the process of vetting and doing his due diligence, and then everything kind of clicked into the mold form, and now he's about to do what he's about to do. So Lyndon, as the man that has gone through the process, vetting and finding your teammate, how did that process go for you?
I have to, I have to say for me personally, and everybody's got their own process, just like their own fingerprints.
Right.
For me, I think it was pretty simple from the perspective that I took a lot of time to overcome what hurt me, and not only overcome what hurt me, do a self-assessment of where I think I needed to be and what I needed to change about myself as I stepped into my new situation. So when it came down to the point of vetting and when and things of that nature, I was very clear. One thing I don't tolerate anybody wasting is my time.
Right.
And because once you lose it, you don't ever get it back. And so for me, I think it was pretty simple. I was very, honest, transparent. This is what my history is. This is what I'm not going to revisit ever again. And things have been clicking ever since. And but like I said, everybody's got a different process. But I think for me, I keep honesty on the forefront of everything. And because I'm just a firm believer that honesty just keeps everything simple. So
Right. Here's a good question for you, and that's just for everybody, but I definitely want Lyndon to answer the question. I'm a firm believer in having what I call uncomfortable conversations. And what I mean by uncomfortable conversations, because sometimes I think on both sides of the gender pool that there's some things that we want to discuss, and we don't really have that discussion because we're afraid of the response. We're afraid of what might come up. But I believe sometimes those kind of conversations test the validity of the relationship. It tests the foundation of the relationship, because I think sometimes you need to have those tough conversations to kind of clear the air so that they don't become issues down the road. So, fellas, chime in. And how important is it? How do you feel about having those uncomfortable conversations that need to be had to kind of clear up some things before it turns into an issue?
Can I say something, Eugene?
Go ahead. Of course.
I say it's incredibly imperative that you learn how to find comfort in discomfort.
Come on, see that.
And because one of the things that's been a turn off for me, and one of the things I told my lady when I said, if you're one of these types of ladies that believe in avoidance to get away from a situation, you're not gonna mesh well. So communication is going to be pivotal in terms of my level of interaction with you, because I just don't believe in avoidance, kicking the can down the road, because once you do those types of things, then you allow what could potentially be nonsensical situations to fester into something bigger than what they really needed to be. And I'm not, and look, there's people on both sides of the gender aisle who deal with avoidance. So it's not just, I know several, dudes I know that they would rather just, kick the can down the road as opposed to dealing with it, where I'm not that type of person. So to summarize, I just think that being able to deal with those difficult, situations is key, because if you can't deal with it, then you're not going to deal with the major things that pop up when they surface. So,
all right, Michael, you back?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm back.
All right, bro, we waiting. Here we go.
Well, I don't mind having those types of conversations, because I mean, you really that's when you find your answer. Because me personally, a lot of times I see the argument in my head before we even get to having that discussion, and then it plays out to the point where it gets too frustrating, where I don't even want to have it. But then it festers to a point where it's unavoidable, and we got to sit down and hash it out. So the benefit from it is, number one, it's a stress reliever, because we're sitting up here worrying about how she gonna take it. She gonna think I'm feeling some kind of way about her, which is not the case. But it's we're all gonna be tried, no matter what. So any relationship that's worth having is going to go through some things. And once you start being able to work those things out, that'll make the relationship even stronger. So what will help me a lot of times having them conversations is sometimes just approach me, baby. What's on your mind? Something's been bothering you. Come on, let's sit down and let's talk. And then we sit down, we discuss it, boom, and we straight.
Yeah, and sometimes, Mike, man, something that you said that played a key role, like in my early 20s. Like I dealt with this through my 20s and I guess early 30s and everything. It would always, this happened to me while I was younger in high school. It would always embarrass me to embarrass somebody else, right? So when it came to conflict resolution, and when it came to having a disagreement with it, or trying to figure out how we navigate a little bump in the road that we have between each other, I used to do that little avoidance thing, because I felt that I played in my head, I rehearsed in my head that this conversation is going to go a certain way, and when it does a certain way, it's going to get ugly, and when it gets ugly, we ain't going to talk no more. And when she asked me for my football jersey on Friday before the game to wear, I tell her no, and I don't want to have to do that, because now I'm avoiding you in the hallways. But
Right.
like while I was growing up, my 20s and 30s, I started to realize, Bill, man, if you don't start having these conversations and let people know where things are, where things stand, and not basically let people run over you, not because they, you know, they're dominant over you. It's just that you don't want any problems, not at all.
You want no smoke?
Yeah.
But at the times that was just rehearsed in my head. When I went ahead and had those conversations, they didn't play out that way at all.
Man.
And like you said, Mike, your stress goes way down. You're happy that you nipped whatever it is in the bud early, so it don't fester into something like Linda was talking about and explode into something that can potentially just ruin the whole relationship. Cecil, man, I want to get your opinion on this, and then Kamal.
I think one of the biggest things is being intentional about your communication. Like you said, Bill, you felt like, you know, we're going to be upset and it's going to basically snowball. So to avoid the snowball, I'm going to avoid the conversation altogether. And I get that. And I'm with you on that. But I think if we want to grow out of that, we got to perceive what could potentially come up. And rather than avoid it, how can I build that bridge? How can I build that level of communication? I mean, we're old enough now. We've been through a lot of different things in life. So how can I look at my past relationships, my past experiences, my past whatever, and take that into the future and say, all right, there's going to be times where we're arguing or disagreeing over what to watch on TV. How can I come up with a game plan to get us through that? There's going to be times where we want to go out and I want to go left and she want to go right. How can I, you know, prepare for that situation? As men, we should have kind of arrows, so to speak, in our little bag to say, okay, when this situation comes up, I'm going to grab this one. When this situation comes up, I'm going to go with that. Because we've had experiences in life. We know some of the stuff that comes up. You know, case in point, you got an old home girl from back in the day, college, wherever. You meet up, you know what it is, big old hug. Hey, how you doing? You can already feel that smirk behind you. Who's she? Who this heifer?
All the time.
In the final girl,
Harpo, who that woman?
huh?
Harpo, who that woman?
But you better introduce your woman.
Well, exactly. You be at like here for 4th of July, we have like a big block party. So you're liable to see anybody there. So you're walking down the street, Cecil, what's up? You see us like, oh crap.
Cecil.
Like, hey.
Cecil, hold on, Cecil. That's where you messed up. Right there. Right there. See, that's where we get in trouble, fellas. That's the problem.
You gotta be immediately.
Because listen,
this is my girlfriend.
Women to watch us, they study us, and you just turn your ass when you say, "Oh shit," you just
everybody likes to smile.
You just in an uncomfortable situation when you was like, "Oh shit," because she looking at you like, okay, she want to see how you gonna respond to Tamika saying, "Hey, say so." You're like, "Hey, girl, what's up?"
But you know, I'm already prepared for that, though, Gene. I'm already prepared. Hey, Tamika, this is my girlfriend. This is my lady here, right here.
Before you said this is my girlfriend, she already peeped your shit. when you tensed up like, oh shit, she saw you, bro. She watched you. She saw you 10 minutes before that bro got you.
Don't say nothing right then and there. It's gonna be.
Oh, but see, I know the right. You gotta lead out. This is my woman, my girlfriend, my something to let everybody know she with me. And you're right, Gene. But you know, as long as you come back and let her know that she's at the top of the totem pole, she'll be all right.
No, she is the totem pole, not the top. She is the totem pole.
Top of the whatever it is.
You're trying to make her the top. She's gonna be looking at you like, really? That's what we doing? Oh yeah. So
my point is, we have to be prepared for situations that we feel like can come up.
Right.
We feel like we need to talk about. That way, when we hear those dreaded words, we need to talk. It won't be.
Oh God.
Oh crap,
man.
But here's what y'all don't need to do, fellas. And this is just my personal opinion. It's not law. I always say when you have those kind of conversations, to sit there and be ready to respond is the wrong thing to do, because you don't know exactly what's on her mind. So you might, like you said, you made an analogy. See, so with the arrows, you might have some arrows ready, but what if she go in a whole nother direction and you like, whoa, I ain't got no arrow for that one. Wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. You know, be like Hunger Games. I ain't got no arrow for that, so we finna be in trouble. But
you know what?
You have to, hold on, I got you. You have to listen to interpret it and really understand what she's saying. That way before, because don't listen to respond. Because sometimes they just want you to listen. I've been in some conversations where all I had to do was listen. And I tried to respond, and she told me flat out, I didn't ask for your opinion. I just want you to hear what I got to say. Ooh. And I shut what they call the fuck up. Because that's what she wanted. Because that's what she wanted, because she just wanted to vent. And sometimes, fellas, we have to let them vent. It's not always about a response. Sometimes they just need to get some stuff off of their chest. Right. It is not necessary for us. We don't, like men, we're fixers by nature. And that's the problem. They don't want you to fix them. They just want you to listen to them.
True.
They just want you to hear what they got to say. Go ahead, Twan, and I got a question I want to ask the fellas. Okay. So we've talked about identifying our mates. We talked about everything. Well, not everything. We talked about some things about relationships, but I want to ask y'all a question. And I want y'all to put on your thinking cap when I ask. Go ahead, Twan.
I was going to say, kind of going back to the avoidance thing, when you guys was talking about avoidance, I was thinking about when I was engaged. And said it was like my early to mid 20s, just got out of college and everything like that. And we both, at the time, we both were avoiders. So I was thinking, we was talking about like a snowball effect. So I was just thinking the more that we avoid, the more snow that we put in the snowball.
As it goes down.
Yeah, because like I think I can't remember who, but someone said that when we try to avoid, we try not to add snow to the snowball. But realistically, we added more to it to where it also will blow up. Because that's how me and my former fiance, we kind of broke up because we avoided so much to where we just so happened just blew up. I mean, I just blew up one time, and we both did at some point, and it kind of threw the whole thing. It threw the whole thing apart. So I'm just thinking, like, when we do avoid, that's both us men and women. When we avoid, we add more snow to the snowball. When, like I said, when we need to. I said, as we get older and as we become more mature. Let me put it that way. I ain't gonna say older, because you can get older and not become and still never be mature. Exactly. As we become more mature. I said we need to hash those things out in a respectful and positive way.
Right.
Oh, come on.
Yo, I'm sorry. I'm watching this this Gucci Jeezy versus, man. My attention was taken away a little bit. My bad, guy. But nah. Huh? I think. Well, they both winning because nobody dead yet. But I think Jeezy's taking this one. He might want to. Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens once everything's over.
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of tension in that room, though. But nah. I think so. I agree with what Antoine's saying. In terms of yeah. I don't know. I used to be an avoider. I think when you are with somebody that doesn't avoid for so long, you tend not to do that anymore. So I'm trying to actually get back to being not so much under the defensive and being in attack mode all the time. I think that's part of me, identifying areas of growth and areas of improvement. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, I mean, going back to what you're saying about the whole arrow analogy, and where she may want to talk about something and maybe wanting to talk about something, and you think it's going to go one way, but she's actually going to another way. I've been so conditioned over the years that as soon as a question is posed, I got that arrow out. I don't give a fuck what direction it's going. That's not good though. That's not good. That's not good. And depending on what I be drinking, it might not be an arrow, it might be a bazooka. So, but again, not a good thing. That's definitely not a good thing. Yeah, I don't know what kind of advice to give on that, but I think like my take on it is, well, I'll speak for myself. There's baggage I got to get out the way so that I can be a little bit more of not so much of an avoider, but maybe not be so ready to have them guns drawn. You know what I'm saying? Because I've gotten in my own way in that respect. And it's definitely not a good thing.
Yeah, Rogers. Okay. What's up, Gary?
No. I was looking. I'm waiting for my screen to come in. So I was like looking. I was like, let me see, because I actually have a picture of my daughters and granddaughter for Father's Day this year, COVID style, but it's not showing up. So
okay.
Go ahead. Here's a so we've talked about what we want. We talked about some qualities. I saw a very interesting post earlier tonight, and I'm really finna put the fellas on the spot. I'm really finna put us on the spot because I really want to know what y'all think, fellas.
Bring it on.
We in relationships. We're building relationship. We're building a friendship, and we're trying to see where the situation goes. What is the highest form of intimacy that a woman can give you? And I want you to hear me again. I'm gonna need you to get out of the basement because I'm not talking about down there. I need you to think with your elevated mind. What? Seriously, fellas, because intimacy and sex are two different things. Please don't get it twisted. Intimate sex is the dessert of intimacy. If intimacy is done correctly, oh my God, that part is off the chain. But what I'm asking you is, what does intimacy mean to you, or what's the highest form of intimacy that your mate can give you?
I got an answer to that.
Go ahead, old school. Don't worry, I'm right there with you. Don't worry.
When she can trust that I am there for her benefit instead of her harm.
That's powerful.
Yes.
That's powerful. Say it again, Gary. I need you. Say that again for the members in the back.
She can recognize I'm there for her benefit and not for her harm.
Anybody got an organ?
I know.
Gary stole my thunder. I was about to say it's trust.
If I can reach my piano.
And it's trust not when things are good. It's trust when bad. I don't need trust if we got all our ducks in order. That's not trust. That's just
amen to that. No,
I need you to trust me
under
when
fire.
the economy bottoms out, my company shut down, I done lost my job that I had for several years, and we don't know how we gonna make ends meet. But this dude that you've been with for all of this time, there's a reason why you fell in love with me. There's a reason why you hooked up with me. It's 8 billion people on the face of the earth, but you picked me and I picked you. We need to trust one another during those times.
Yeah. Right.
When the sun ain't shining.
Yeah. See, and here's the thing. You made an important point, because there are going to be times when there are going to be external stressors. Forget about the internal conflict. The external stressors are going to put the relationship under undue stress to the point where it breaks. But if you have the trust that each other is there for their benefit and not for their harm, you can stand it together. But when you don't, you will hang separately.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the kind of trust that you're talking about. Intimacy, that intimacy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Under fire. Under fire, the intimacy remains.
That's on this one. Come on, fellas. Let's hit some more.
Mike, I see you peeking, brother.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
I want her to pray for me.
Ooh.
Even know.
Boy, don't see. We try to stay out that arena. Don't start none. Won't be none. Oh, Jesus.
Because I'll say some women have what's called a prayer closet.
Yeah.
And you know, they'll go in
On that prayer
and you
closet.
know and just
And go to
start
work.
praying. And you know, a lot of times I'll be stressed. Like I'm gonna say for the past couple weeks, you know, working 2 jobs, man, I'm stressed like I don't know what.
Too. I wanted to say that real quick.
Huh?
Congratulations on your son coming home too, man.
Oh yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. That was oh man, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Continue.
And now he don't even take my daggone phone calls. he ain't come back by himself either. No, he ain't come back with a baby. He came back with a girlfriend. So it's all good. I mean, he happy. They happy.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just basically, you know, just you know, comfort me in my time of need. You know, and basically just praying for me without me even knowing you did it. Because spiritually, I'll feel it.
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh, Mike, cut it out. That's okay, yeah. Next. I'm gonna start some mess on this call in a minute.
But I was gonna say, I would say both Mike, I guess both everybody that had already spoke kind of said everything. For the past, like, I guess after the last locker room talk, I do this every day. I pray at night, and I got to a point to where before I start teaching my classes, I pray before I go to my classrooms and teach. But for the past maybe I'll say about 3 weeks, every day I've been praying for a woman that I have never seen. In other words, I'm already speaking things in her life and saying, I pray that she has a good day. I don't know who you are, but yet, whoever you are, wherever you are, I pray that your day is blessed. I don't know who you are, I haven't seen who you are, but I just speak those, just even though it's something that may be insignificant, but yet to me, if I don't do it, it's not significant to her, even though I don't know who the hell she is.
Right.
You know, I've been doing little things like that. I've been praying that I hope that if she has a child, I hope her child does a good day in school. You know, something like that. I mean, something small, insignificant, little things that we should do, like we do as if we already have a significant other. I'm doing that for someone that I haven't seen, met, or don't know who it is. I don't know where she's at. I don't know where she lives. Hell, she could be in Timbuktu, or she could be right next to me. So I've been doing little things. Like I've been noticing that I've been doing little things like that. I've been, like for the other things, trust. I'm gonna go back to when I was engaged again. To where when I was engaged, I was at a point in my life to where it was kind of rocky, because it was at a point to where I couldn't get a job for like 2 years straight. I had a child. I said my baby girl, I said, was 2 years old. You know, she needed to eat. So I was doing everything in my power. I would go to bed 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, wake up at 5 in the morning, out looking for a job. No car. I'm walking around Newport News with a suit and tie. It said suit and tie, it said briefcase, walking the whole city of Newport News looking for a job. So one day I came to the house and I got an ultimatum saying that doing enough.
Wow.
Like ultimately, she was like, "You have 30 days to get your shit together, or or I'm leaving, or you got to leave." And I'm sitting there like, you see me every morning going out looking for something. So it was like when you guys talk about trust, that kind of came into my head. I was like, it was at a point to where the trust was gone, despite of everything that was done, everything that I did. Even when I came home late at night, my daughter at 2 years old would stay up until I come home, and I will play with her and do everything that I can just to make sure. I said, even at 12, 11 o'clock at night, when I walk home from all over Newport News, to make sure that she touches me, smell me, play with me. I can be dead tired, like just frustrated to all ends meet. And I guess that's what, and like I said, and that trust wasn't there between me and at the time my fiance. And that I kind of reflected back on that when you guys were talking about that. So trust is a big thing. Like I said, when times get hard, like I said, there was no job for 2 years. Now, mind you, a college educated brother, I was like, look, I said, went to McDonald's. Like, look, I don't care about my college degree. I said, I got 2 women to feed. And so I got a baby daughter, I got a baby girl, and I got a fiance. I don't care about flipping burgers. I said that if it's going to pay the bills and do everything I need, that's fine. But like I said, but even despite of all that, there was no trust. So trust is a big thing, and trust and reality is a big thing. And I think that's the biggest things. I think we all have a consensus of that's where it needs to be. We need. I feel like, especially now, we need to pray for that woman that we haven't seen yet, haven't met yet, and we need to pray for her family, her well-being, spiritual, mental, physical, emotional. We need to pray for her family. We need to do all those things. We need to pray for trust. We need to work on what unnegotiable things that needs to happen.
Right. So that's your highest form, is the trust issue.
It's all both right. Trust and spirituality. Because if we're not in the same page on our spiritual needs, I think that's a really big thing, because that means we can't what we say when people are together, we can't we're not one.
No, you don't believe.
Unequally yoked.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Fully yoked. We're not fully yoked. It's like I said, it's like I'm oil and she's water. It just don't miss, no matter how much you whip it. It's at some point it's gonna come apart if we're not there spiritually.
Hey, so, Twan, let me give you a piece of advice, Twan. I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you. Like, whatever the situations we've gone through as men, one thing that I took from Lyndon, he doesn't even know, I don't know if I ever told him this, is that you have to make sure that you have all the residue of your past hurts, disappointments, and frustrations off of you. You can pray until the cows come home, but if you have not dealt with that frustration, you've not dealt with that residue on you, that next person that comes in your life is going to end up seeing that. Because again, listen to me, fellas, women study us. Mm-hmm. And if you have any residue, now sometimes you might have some residue and she's willing to help you with that. But when you have a substantial amount on you, and it can be seen through your conversation, through your reactions, through your emotions, then that causes a problem, because they don't want to be in competition with your baggage.
Yeah.
So, hold on, let me say, that's your level of trust. So, Lyndon, like we're talking about the highest form of intimacy. I want Lyndon to tie in on this.
For me, it's it's kind of, a lot of it's already been, touched on, but for me, it's always been being able to kind of understand what I'm going through, you know? Um,
Yes.
yeah. Because as men, let's keep it funky for a second.
Mhm.
A lot of us in our careers, I'm in federal law enforcement, so my job is hectic, and I
Mhm.
carry a 150-pound rucksack on my back
Right.
every day. I've always been attracted to that person. What I like now, what I have is she finds innovative ways to help shed some of them pounds off my back,
Cool.
as opposed to not adding to it.
Roger
So
that.
that's always been the highest form of intimacy to me, and finding ways to, kind of, just take things off of me, because at the end of the day, you can do bad by yourself. And I've always preached that. So I hope that answers the question.
What about
Yep.
you, Bill?
I like to refer to, if you don't mind, to some of these 8 soulmate signs that you sent me earlier today in order for us to have this discussion. So let me share with the brothers in here in the YouTube audience that like some identifying ways to identify your soulmate, excuse me, is one, you have to have like a intense intuition with that person, right? If there's that click, that chemistry, that initial attraction that's there, that has to be able to start the connection, right? And then it goes into that connection. Like there has to be something to build upon. Usually those are things that you're like-minded about. Like, you like doing the same things. You find out that you're interested in some of the same things. You start to recognize the purpose driven in the same purpose that you are aligned in, right? Number 2, what about being best friends? You want to be around somebody that is your best friend, somebody that you can confide in and don't have to worry about, if I share this information with her, or in her case, him, are they going to use this information and weaponize it against me at my lowest point, and turn that information around? That's that communication. That trust is built with your best friend. Now, some of us have had best friends longer than we'll ever be married to somebody. And what did it take to establish that best friendship with whoever it is, whether it's a male or female? We should be best friends, or allow that room to be best friends within our relationship. There got to be mutual respect, right? Because if we get through those 2 things and we still don't respect each other, how can we build upon anything? Right? Let's go to 4. You have to have the same vision for the future. Now, it don't have to be she might be into television and you might be into working construction. Y'all don't have to be in the same type of career path or anything, but where do y'all see yourselves in the future? And do y'all see yourselves in the same time, space, and place together? How about this? Challenge each other, right? We kind of talked about that. How somebody that's going to push us to be our better selves, help push us to be our better selves. That's a way that you can identify someone that's a soulmate or a good teammate for each other. And fighting for your relationship. Are they willing to fight for your relationship? If somebody else if you can sit around the table, or you're around at their family reunion, and their family starts snickering and chuckling and saying stuff behind your back, and she just lets it happen and don't stick up. Look, this is my man. I don't know what you're talking about. You either accept him or we can leave. You're looking for somebody that's willing to fight for your relationship, stand up and protect you at times, just like you're willing to protect them. I'm trying to run through this real quick because I know we're getting short on time. There's 3 more, and then we can all chime in on on what do you identify most with. You can be a part of, but prefer being together with her, or in her case, him. You can be a part of something else, but you would prefer to be with that other person. Is that always something that is an attention getter for you, or a plus in your life? Somebody that you're comfortable with being authentic with. Can you be real 100 with them? Or do you always have to put on airs around their family and stuff? You know, do you have to live this life for the Joneses or keep up with the Joneses while behind closed doors you're at each other's throats at night? And those are some of the 8 things. Now, how out of those 8 things, how has any one of y'all can talk about this? How has any one of those things that I said particularly, you know, triggered you in some type of way? Anybody?
Well, we kind of talked about these, but I just want to, if you don't mind, I want to answer the question. I never did answer the intimacy question.
Okay.
The highest form of intimacy that I think a woman can give me and we can give each other is very simple. I can put my heart in her hand and not worry about her hurting me.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That's right.
No, definitely.
Hear me well. I don't want to turn this. We're not going to turn this into a religious thing, but there's a scripture in the Bible that describes how a man can put his heart in the hand of a woman and she will do him no evil. That's the highest form. And that goes first ways. A woman wants to know she can put her heart in your hand and she knows that you got her. And the same for me. I want to know if I say, you know what, here, I trust you. Trust is a huge word. It's not just about cheating or this, that, other. I know that no matter what, when I look to the left of me, to the right of me, to the front of me, above me, under me, you're there and you got my back. That's the highest form of intimacy, because if I can't trust you with my heart, because that's the center of me. And I think that's where a lot of us are missing. If I can't say, listen, I know you got me. I know that you got I don't have to worry about you saying anything. And that ties into some of those 8 things. If you can trust a woman with your heart, that means she can do these 8 things. That means she's going to defend you. That means she's going to have your back. That means she's going to encourage you. That means you'll have a tense connect. That means everybody is comfortable in their own space and in their own flesh, in their own skin, but they prefer to be together. Like, yeah, do you have your own life? Do you? Do the girls, bros, hang out with bros, do you? But at the end of the day, I just want to watch TV, cuddle, chill with you. I just have a conversation with you and be with you. I enjoy being around you. That's the highest. And that's Eugene. That has nothing to do with anybody else on this call. My highest form of intimacy is saying, you know what, baby, I trust you. Because when you have that kind of relationship, it will make you, it'll put you in a place of peace that you've never experienced before. I don't know if you ever experienced that before, fellas, but if you've ever been with somebody who you trusted like that, oh my God, I can't even get to explain to you the peace that you have knowing that this person, you trust this person with your heart, with your soul. Like, I know you're not going to hurt me. And that's, that's one of the things that people need to, is when you're looking for that helpmate, for that soulmate, for that team player, for that future potential wife, and the women that are looking for that husband, if you cannot trust that, hey, I got him, because here's my definition of love, fellas. This is my definition. It's not y'all's. My definition of loving somebody is, I love you, and I'm butt naked in front of you, and I'm giving you my heart, and I'm trusting you not to hurt me.
Yep.
I make myself vulnerable. I'm showing you all my weak points, and I'm trusting you not to attack me. I'm trusting you not to attack. I'm trusting you. Matter of fact, I'm trusting you to protect those weak spots.
Yeah.
Whatever weaknesses are, whatever my pain, I'm showing you. Listen, baby, this is what I'm afraid of. This is where I struggle at. And then I'm trusting you to say, you know what, baby, how about you try this? Okay, you know, how was your day today? Like Linda said, I got this 150-pound rucksack on my back, but when I look in her eyes, that thing feel like 20 pounds. It feel like a plastic because I know she got me.
Yeah.
That to me, I'm not speaking for none of y'all. To me, that is the highest level of intimacy that a woman can give me, to know that I just know that no matter what comes or goes, she got me. And she knows that I got her for real. And here's the key to that. And I'm not asking you for nothing.
Yeah.
This is not a contractual situation. I got you for real, for real. I ride or die for you. That's what team play. That's what we're gonna do. That's what I want. I want that person I can ride or die for. We're gonna ride or die, but we're gonna ride till the wheels fall off because I know you got me. A man that a woman got him, a woman know that a man got her. That's a team. That's a team. Perfect example. Look at Chadwick Boseman. His circle covered him. Black Panther, his circle covered him.
Yes.
They covered him. This man was dying and we didn't know it.
Yeah.
His circle covered him. His wife covered him. His people, they covered him.
Yeah.
They protected his heart. They protected him. We by the time we found out, it was too late. He was gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was proud
I want
of
to be able to tell you my weaknesses, and you don't call Antoine and tell him. I want to be able to tell you my weaknesses, and you don't get mad and be on the phone with your girl like, yeah, girl, he cried when his daddy died. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like, also, real talk. Yeah. If I can't, we want to be, ladies, listen to me. We want to be vulnerable with y'all. We want to be butt naked, transparent. Yeah. We do. I ain't talking about sexual. I'm talking about we want to be, listen, I want that relationship where I could just be like, baby, this is me. From my head to my toe.
Take the mask off.
Exactly. I'm taking the mask off. I'm not showing you Gino from college. I'm not showing you Zaddy. And this is Eugene Coleman III. And I'm showing you who I am. And I'm trusting that when I give you my heart, that you're going to put it away and lock it away and protect it with your very life. The same way I'm going to do you. That's the highest form of intimacy to me. I'm done.
Cool.
Y'all want to talk about it.
Yeah, I think you just said enough, man.
That's good stuff right there.
Good stuff.
That's good.
You got to tank on that one.
And listen, that ain't no notes or nothing. That's coming from my heart.
Yeah.
That's what I desire.
I think one thing we have to learn in society is that there are women that have to protect men. They may not do it physically, but they'll do it spiritually and emotionally.
Yeah.
It's a good woman right there.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah,
What everyone is saying, fellas, when you pray, watch this. If that's what you want, whatever you want in your teammate, you already know what you want, correct? Fellas, everybody know what they want?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to challenge you for the next 30 days just to pray to be prepared for her. Don't pray for her. Pray that God prepares you for her.
That's a whole word.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a whole word.
I'm done.
Can I say something? I was again, like in addition to that, I was thinking what you said in the last one, to where you said that you asked on God to reveal who you are, unfiltered, unadulterated, uncensored. And I think that we had to do the same thing with our teammate. Like you said, like putting that heart in their hand, the same thing. I want to say I have followed your lead on that also, and hoping and praying every day that I see it the same way. Maybe not in your experience, but in my experience and in my way, to where all of that will come into place. You know, I believe I kind of feel if we, like you said, if we're become naked, if we are unfiltered, unadulterated, uncensored, our uncensored self, our unfiltered self towards whoever she may be, or for her, whoever he may be, I think it will all come into place.
That's true.
And I want that, like I said, and I think, in addition to what I pray for, like I said, even like I said, yes, I do pray for her. Like I said, her well being. But like I said, at the same time, like you said, and like many of the brothers said to me, not even up in this platform, but also in the platforms to where they're supposed to something, to where we have to work on ourselves, despite of where we think we're at. We always it's I feel that we always had to need a door open to always work on ourselves. And once we work on ourselves, our significant others or our ladies will help. I'm not say will fix, but will help us grow and will help us take us to that next level to where we can go in our next level with our teammate.
That'll work. Hey, but nah, what's cracking, young fella? I see you done slid in on us.
Mm.
This is perfect. And I don't know how long you've been on, bro, but we basically been talking about identifying our teammates and the things that every man has discussed what he wants in a teammate, and what he pictures. I want you to answer two questions. You already know what I want you to do after that. First question is, what is it that you want in your teammate? And the second thing is, what is the highest form of intimacy that a woman can give you? And then you know what to do after that. Bernard will have the last say. Go ahead, bro.
I think for me, I've mentioned it before, but for me, it's like very, very important. I truly want to be the third person that a woman loves. First, I feel like her own personal relationship with God is very important. Then I feel like, she needs to be able to love herself. And then if she can handle those two, then she can love me. And I feel like that's very important. Now, for me, it's not a cliche because I know that for some of us, I'll speak for me. In my past, I knew of God, but I didn't know God. So it's a difference. So, yeah, you can talk, kick it, chill, but it's a difference in having a relationship. And so I feel like if she's able to have a relationship with God and then with herself, then we can have one together. And I feel like that's one of the things that I work on myself as well. So whenever I see not just this group, just on Facebook or social media in general, they be like, where are they and where are they at and why can't I find them? For me, that's never really been my style. It's okay, look, can I provide what I'm asking for? Can I offer what I would like to, what I would like to see and I would like to seek out? And for me, I believe in doing the same thing, how's my relationship with God? How's my relationship with myself? And then I feel like I then can be the mate, the partner, the spouse, the head, that a woman needs. But as always, like the head is nothing but the body. So therefore, that's why I feel like it's not just about me. I need to have a great relationship. I need to love myself. I need to have a great relationship with my spouse. But it's like we have to be able to put those things together. And I feel like that's very important from my standpoint. And for me, I guess the greatest form of intimacy for me is really peace. And I feel like peace is very important. And it's not, I guess the way to operate is love me enough to help me, love me enough to praise me, but also love me enough to correct me when I'm wrong.
Sure.
And I feel like if you're at peace with yourself, then whatever my partner says, it won't come from a bad place. Even if it's constructive criticism, it'll still come from a place of love. And so just having that peace to know that, what, when she speaks with authority. When she speaks because, maybe she doesn't have all the answers, but she maybe has a better way. And so let's follow that lead. So for a woman who has her own relationship with God, has a relationship with herself, I feel like, she'll have that peace. She'll be able to speak with that godly authority. And I know, what? Let's go that route.
You
And so
will.
and then just being able to put it together, it's not really saying, you have to be right, I have to be right, who gets the credit. Let's just let the situation be right. And so for me, that's why like that peace is so important. And I know a lot of times talk about, hey, don't let anybody disturb your peace, protect your peace. But also it's not necessarily if I want peace, I have to be peaceful. And so that's how I look at myself. So, I can't expect, my partner, my woman to have peace if I'm over here causing hell.
Right.
Like I have to create an environment where she feels like she can have peace. And so I feel like it starts with me. And of course, we're a reflection of each other. But at the same time, if this is what I'm asking for, if I'm asking for peace, I've got to be peaceful. If I want somebody that's friendly, I got to be approachable. If I want to be loving, then I got to show love towards her. So for me, it's like I have to be able to give what I want, but also I have to be able to stand up and say, if I'm wrong, I have to, you know what, I'm wrong. You're right. Let's try it this way. And so for me, it's not really just one thing. But for me, it's more like mentally and emotionally. And then the physical part of calm, in this group, we have some very beautiful women, true enough, and we know it, but at the same time, we have some very strong emotional women. We have some very, mentally tough women, they run their businesses, they have a lot of great things going for them. And so the last thing for me is just chemistry. You know, I could be good to you, but am I good for you? And then vice versa. So I feel like, hey, I'm a good dude, I'm a good catch, whatever, but that doesn't mean I'm the right person for said woman. So me, I tell women is, you know what? I just need you to be happy. Even if it's not with me, because I don't believe in being selfish. I feel like everybody deserves to be happy. So if you're not happy with me, I get it. I respect it. I just need you to find whatever your form of happiness is, because at the end of the day, God wants us to be happy. None of us should be miserable. So we just have to be able to put those two qualities together. And so that's really, that's really what I'm all about.
That's what's up, man. That was right on time right there. And I'm pretty sure Eugene, since we running out of time right now, Eugene would probably want you to pray us out.
He already knows what to do. He already knows what to do.
No problem. Let me turn this camera thing off. All right, let's bow our heads and close our eyes. Heavenly Father, before we ask you for anything, first we just want to just thank you for allowing us to see another day. During the times that we're in right now, there's so much chaos, there's so much confusion, but no matter what, we know that you're still God. Um, but before we go any further, we just want to ask that you're over everybody and their families right now. Uh, there's a lot of sickness in the land, God, whether it be related to COVID, whether it be related to cancer, whatever the issue might be. Um, I don't know what the issue is because I'm not you, God, but God, you know all. You know everybody's issue, whether it's mental, physical, financial, spiritual, emotional, mental, whatever it might be, and that's enough. And a lot of times we don't even have to pray long prayers, use big words, just carry on and carry on. I can just say, God help, or God, or just scream out the name of Jesus. And so whatever somebody's issue is, God, we just hope and pray that right now, if it be your will, that you fix it. And even if you don't fix it the way that they would like for it to be fixed, we hope and pray that you reveal to them why you worked out the situation the way that you saw fit. A lot of times we have to understand that we want things, and it's great. You want to give us the desires of our heart, but the desires of our heart also have to match the will of the Father. So no matter what we've been through, no matter what we've gone through, no matter what we will go through, we just hope and pray that we're always close to you. And as I've talked about before, the book of Job is one of my favorite books. And I know that there are a lot of books in the Bible, but Job was all about restoration, God. God, you allowed Job to be tested. You allowed some things to be taken away, but he never gave up. So obviously tonight we're talking about a helpmate, God. We know that some of us, obviously we're single because we're all in the group, so we're single. Some of us might have, been married, we're now divorced or going through a separation. Maybe just got about a bad relationship, or, we just feel like, who is it that we can trust, God? Who is our helpmate? Who is our rib? Who is that man or who is that woman that you have for us? And oftentimes I know we get frustrated, God. And sometimes like, why us? Why not us? When is it my time? Let us just hold on to your hand, God. Let us just hold on to you and believe you that our time will come. Our time will come. You have that person for us, but it's the person you have for us, God. The person that not necessarily make us complete, but that will complement us, God. The person that would come in a peaceful manner, God. The person that would come in a loving manner, God. God, the person that even that offers criticism, it'll come from a place of love, because that's all we really want at this time. We just want to be able to open up to somebody, pour out our heart, and then not have whatever issues we're going through used against us. But also, as the man, God, we got to be willing to listen. I get it. Yes, we're supposed to be the head. We're supposed to be, we're supposed to lead and lead by example. And I get it. But we also are nothing without the body. So we need that helpmate. And then the women, they need that man in their life, So for us, God, we just hope and pray that, you show us the person that's for us. We don't want what anybody else has. We don't want anybody else's blessing. We're happy for whatever somebody else has and whoever somebody else has. But we just want what you want for us. And as long as you give us according to your will, we know that we will have nothing to worry about. And then on top of that, God, now we talked about the person. Let's just talk about all relationships, God. The key sometimes to a relationship is it's not just that person that you're in a relationship with, but it's also about the people that you all decide to surround yourself with. So I hope and pray that each of us are surrounded by some great examples of what we're looking for. Some great examples, not just somebody who will just tell us what we want to hear, but also people and couples and Sunday school classes and faith groups and just friends or sometimes even strangers. You never know who we can learn from that'll tell us what we need to hear. Because times like these, we don't need just a feel-good message. We need something that's going to dig down deep in our soul and let us know, hey, either you're doing a great job or hey, you did this, but there is a better way. So God, if there's something that we need to change in us, I hope and pray that you show us that better way so that we could then be connected to the one that you have for us. So with all hearts and mind are clear, son, just need to pray, amen.
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 It was right on.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, brothers. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot now.
All right, man. Y'all be free. Have an awesome rest of the weekend.
All right.
Peace
All
out.
right. Happy holidays, guys.
Yeah.
Happy holidays.
Happy
Be
holidays to
safe.
y'all too.
Be
Be
safe.
safe wherever you are.
No doubt. We out.